Alright, now that the doors is off, I want to show you why I'm taking the door off to begin with. The door looks pretty good from you know, on the surface, but underneath there's quite a bit of rust that I'm gonna have to take care of. So there's gonna be, you know, obviously that, and then there's gonna be spots all through here and down on this end that I got to take care of. This is bad. These two pieces of metal sandwiched together holds moisture, and so we're gonna end up taking this piece off, and behind this will be eaten up. So we're gonna end up having to replace pretty much this whole section of metal right through here. And then you come to this corner. All right, put the wire wheel to it, and you can see it opened up a lot of these pitted spots. Took that rail off, and as you can see, that exposes a lot of pitting spots that have just been totally eaten through. It's pretty bad all the way. That rail went from here to down about here, and everywhere where that rail was, it's really bad rust. And here's the corner. It will end up, you know, will be everything from here to this curve will be sectioned out and replaced. I got my, you can see that, my 90-degree angle cut, and this looks pretty good. The next thing I'm going to do is mark around the original metal on the door to see where I'm going to cut out, and then I'm going to fine tune this to what I've cut out. As you remember, and like, it looks pretty good sitting here, but remember, it's gonna, you know, it's sitting on top of the metal that you're gonna cut out, so it's gonna go in some and then down some, just a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this old metal out, and then start fitting this. Fitting this to the spot that I've cut out. Got that cut out. As you can see, what I cut out was pretty close to what I've already remade. Remember, when you're cutting out metal, be sure to, you can never cut out too little. It's always easier to take away the metal than it is to add it back. So that first cut, make sure you cut less than what you're planning for, because you can always cut away to match to this piece. It's much harder if you cut too much. Now you have to make either a new piece or add metal back. So it never hurts to cut out a much smaller piece and then whittle it down to fit. Can't stress that enough. It'll save you a lot of aggravation if you're really careful. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually weld on a tab, a piece of metal off of this, so I can hold on to this, because what ends up happening when you're trying to fit is the piece will fall into here. So I'm going to weld on a tab to that piece of metal, and so I can hold on to it. Now that I have that on there, I can hold on to this piece. I can get it in place, and I don't have to worry about it falling inside. It's also a great place to attach your welder to when you're welding. Gives you good clean metal. Attach right here. All this is pretty hard to get good contact with your welder. So attach it right here. You can use it as you're welding. You know, just hold on to this, and now you can, whenever you get ready to tack it in place, you got something to hold on to. As you can see down this line, this will end up being a really good repair. Lines up really nicely. Once we get it welded and get those welds ground down, it'll look really good. Got it right where I want it. Alright, now that you got it tacked in place, you want to take a hammer and you kind of tap in, nudge some areas that might be sticking out, just kind of massage it back into place. Get things exactly lined up, but you can just kind of tap just lightly tap and push things around where you want them. Now that I have it tacked in place, might have to get around the back, kind of push this back forward. This kind of shifted this way a little more than I wanted. I'm gonna get back behind on the other side of the door, tap it this way, tack it again, and then go ahead and weld this up. All right, to weld this piece in, this metal is really thin. It's like 22 gauge, I believe. And instead, I'm not going to just, weld long rows all the way down. What you have to do is just do a lot of small tack welds. Small, small, small. Let that area cool and then skip on down to here and then move around, doing smaller tack welds like right next to each other all the way down, but moving around, because this spot right here that you just welded is going to get too hot eventually and it'll blow out right here. So do a couple, don't let it blow through, move over here, do some here, and then move around. That way it lets your metal cool. You don't blow through as much. If you blow through, it's not the end of the world. You can add metal in there. You just got to be careful. But yeah, I'm just gonna kind of tack, move around here, tack here, do it until it's completely, completely welded in, full all the way around, and then I'll come in with the grinder and grind everything smooth so it looks like it wasn't even there, or it looks really nice. All right, got that old tab cut off, and this is what it looks like now that it's pretty much all welded in. It's nicely on the lines. Next thing I'm going to do is get my grinder out and start smoothing down this weld. Alright, and after what seemed like forever on the grinder, we've got this thing looking really nice. You can hardly tell. You can hardly tell where this thing starts and begins. I'm really happy with that. Nice and straight. Get that thing buffed out. Next thing, I'm going to move on down here, work on that section, and then right there on that corner.